Let's start at the knowledge level. Since we ask questions based on terminal learning objectives, or TLOs, we're going to use the following example. Identify a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, or PB&J. Knowledge level questions for this include: what is a PB&J? List the ingredients in a PB&J. Anticipated answers could be: peanut butter and jelly in between two pieces of bread, crunchy peanut butter, smooth peanut butter. Follow-up questions could be: what are the minimum ingredients to make it a peanut butter sandwich? Does it matter if the peanut butter is smooth or crunchy? These questions only require students to recall facts. To find out if students really understand the subject, questions need to be asked at the comprehension level. At this level, students can show understanding by finding information from the text and demonstrating comprehension of ideas. TLO action. Explain how to make a PB&J. A couple of questions at this level could be: what is the difference between a PB&J and a BLT? In your own words, how would you categorize a PB&J? The facilitator could anticipate the following answers. A cold sandwich. A sandwich mostly served to children. Bread, peanut butter, and jelly. Not very sophisticated. Vegetarian. Then the facilitator could ask these follow-up questions. Why do you think knowing how to categorize this sandwich is important? What are some consequences of not knowing how to categorize it? Students are now being asked to understand what kind of a sandwich they are discussing. They are now using other information and their own experience to explain the subject at hand. The third Bloom's level is application. To question students at this level is like having them use something in a new situation, solving problems by applying acquired knowledge, facts, techniques, or rules in a different way. TLO action. Demonstrate how to make a PB&J. A couple of questions at this level could be: what steps would you take to make a PB&J? How would you use a knife in the PB&J assembly process? The facilitator could anticipate the following answers. Put knife in peanut butter jar to get approximately 2 tablespoons of peanut butter on it. Spread peanut butter on side of 1 piece of bread to cover it. Clean off knife with paper towel. And put knife in jelly jar to get approximately 2 tablespoons of jelly on it. Spread jelly on same side of bread with peanut butter on it. Put second piece of bread on first piece of bread so jelly and peanut butter are in the middle. Then the facilitator could ask these follow-up questions. What would result if you used a spoon instead of a knife? How would I make the sandwich better for a child? I could cut off the bread crust. Slice the sandwich from corner to corner for a more manageable sandwich for a child. Don't put as much filling on the bread. Or toast the bread. Now students aren't just considering what they know and understand about the subject, but how to apply what they have discussed to explore the subject on a higher level. The students are considering the process of making the sandwich and showing how they experience it. The next Bloom's level is analysis. This higher learning level can be achieved by asking students to examine something in detail, breaking information into parts, identifying motives or causes, and by making inferences and finding evidence to support generalizations. TLO action. Compare two different PB&J recipes. A couple of questions at this level could be: how is sandwich 1 related to sandwich 2? How is sandwich 1 different than sandwich 2? What evidence can you find that they are different? The facilitator could anticipate the following answers. Both sandwiches contain jelly. One sandwich uses wheat bread while the other uses white bread. They use different types of peanut butter. They are both the same, because you didn't specify any requirements. The facilitator could ask these follow-up questions. What motive is there to have varying sandwich recipes? Why is it important to specify the desired sandwich outcome before analyzing it? If there is no goal, any response is fine. Because a sandwich has such a wide definition of possible outcomes, context is everything when comparisons are made. Students are able to think about relationships and explore details of the parts that make up the whole when analyzing a subject. At the synthesis level, students are creating or changing something. Questioning at this level looks like having information compiled together in a different way by combining elements in a new pattern or proposing alternative solutions. TLO action. Develop a healthy PB&J recipe using locally sourced ingredients. A couple of questions at this level could be: can you propose an alternative PB&J recipe that is healthier than the original? What way would you design the display of the sandwich differently? The facilitator could anticipate the following answers. My new sandwich uses whole wheat bread instead of white bread. I cut my sandwich into quarters so it can be eaten more slowly. I added bananas. The facilitator could ask these follow-up questions. Make a recipe for 3 distinctly different PB&J sandwiches. Where would you go to find sources for locally sourced ingredients? Students can now create something new, having understood, applied, and analyzed the original subject.